Okay, so today we're going to talk about the cost of condo living in Bonifacio Global City, or what is more commonly known as BGC. BGC is a main business district in Metro Manila, and it's well known for its wide and green open spaces, its vibrant nightlife, and its sense of community. It's also quite expensive. So before you move out of your own home and think about moving to BGC, please do have a grasp of yourself and your finances, because you're going to have to cover things such as rent, feeding yourself, doing your laundry, and making sure that your new home doesn't look like a garbage can. Anyway, it's been 2 years since I've been living independently and living here in BGC, and I wanted to share a breakdown with you guys the cost of condo living in Metro Manila. First things first, there's rent. I'm currently staying in the uptown area of BGC, which is a 15-minute walk to my office, or what was then my office. Before COVID hit, my home is now my office. It's also a 15-minute walk from just about anywhere. So if you want to go to the hospital, to the malls, if you want to go to the park, it's just a 10 to 15-minute walk from here. So my rent is 22,500 pesos a month, and that's including condominium dues. So this gives you a one-bedroom apartment. It's fully furnished. So it comes with a washing machine, an air conditioner, cooking appliances. And like most condo residences here in BGC, this condo has its own exclusive pool, a park, a gym, and function rooms just for residents of this condo. Right now, this rent cost is on the cheaper side of things. Because of the pandemic, many people who lived in BGC went back to their provinces or went back to their home countries. But on a regular basis, rent in this area can be from 25 to 30,000 pesos. And if you move closer to the center of BGC, places like High Street or Forbes Town, you could be paying somewhere around 35,000 pesos for a similar sized unit. Now this rent cost can be quite expensive for some. So what other people do is they find a roommate. So you get 1 or 2 roommates, and you can bring down the cost of your rent by over 50% that way. And you also gain new friends. So for utilities, the first thing I'm paying is internet. So I have a Globe at Home 1699 plan, and that's sufficient for me because I currently work at home. So I attend online meetings, I stream videos, I stream music, I do Netflix. So that plan is sufficient for all of those activities. We then have electricity. So at most, I spend 1,000 pesos a month on electricity. So that includes my ref running 24/7. I use the electric stove. And what I think brings down this cost of electricity is I only use the air conditioner at night for 2 to 3 hours. Now, if you're living in a condo, it can get pretty hot, but if you use the aircon the whole day, your rent cost can shoot up to 2,000, 3,000 pesos a month. Water. That's 500 pesos a month, and this is one of the cheaper things I'm paying for in BGC. Because I drink water from the tap, so I use a Brita filter, and I drink a lot of water every day because it's summer, it's kind of hot. I then use the washing machine once a week. And this is one of the things I learned when I first moved out. When I first moved out, I was using the laundromat, and they were charging around 50 pesos a kilo, minimum of 5 kilos, right? So I was spending 1,000 pesos per month on laundry. But what I realized is if you use the washing machine, you can save a lot. And this is one thing you need to note when you move into a condo unit. Sometimes on the condo contract, there is a clause that says the condo unit owner will pay for large expenses and unit repairs. So if the washing machine broke down, you don't need to worry about that because that will be covered by the unit owner. Last, for utilities, I have a Sun Postpaid plan. That's 450 pesos, and it's something that I should probably cut. After rent, food and groceries are my second biggest expense. So food will vary from person to person, but I personally spend 8,000 pesos a month on food. I usually cook my own food, but then I buy a lot of fruits and vegetables, and that can bring the cost of your bill up. So if you're living in the big city, you need to be careful about your food, because if you order food from outside or if you order from Grab, you're going to be spending somewhere around 200 to 300 pesos a meal. If you cook your own food, then you're going to be spending, I think, around 100 to 150. So one thing I learned when I moved out is I learned how to cook. I can now boil some food and do some light frying, and that's enough to get me by. I now also know whether something is raw or cooked, so I think that's a big plus. Groceries, that's 2,000 pesos a month. So that includes your toiletries, cleaning items, among other things. This is one thing that most people skip out on when they move out of their homes. It's treating yourself. So we're talking about self-care. If you're living alone, living in the big city and you're working, things can get pretty stressful. So I do recommend that you set a budget just to treat yourself and care for your own well-being. So while I don't do shopping and I don't really do e-commerce, I do like food. So once a week, I will take out or order some nice food. So for my self-care, I spend 2,000 pesos a month. And I think that's enough. So in total, we're talking about 38,000 pesos a month. Now this is just the average cost of living in BGC. So I do recommend that you get to know yourself and your finances well. So you could start by just making notes on a piece of paper or on a notebook, or you could use some online budgeting apps. Personally, I use some mobile budgeting apps which are free, and I use that to track my daily expenses. So think about it, right? If you really can't move out of your parents' home, then just stay at home. There's nothing wrong with living with your parents. I personally know some friends who are in their 30s and they're still living at home. You can use that extra cash that you save to achieve some other goals, whether it's setting aside money for a trip, if you want to buy a new car, if you're investing in some properties, you can use that money to achieve those goals. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. If you liked the content of this video, please do give it a thumbs up and please do follow the channel. I'll be posting weekly advice and tips on adulting, careers, and finances, and just about anything to help us get us through life.